Okay, but in the case of JP Morgan or Citigroup, don't you think that it could create problems for those money center banks? You know, let's say the gold prices, silver prices, they go through the roof. Don't they have
Well,
problems?
it's gonna create problems for whoever sold the silver or the gold if they go through the roof. There's no question. For all I know, Citibank is acting for its customers, though. They usually are. I can't imagine that Citibank is speculating in any significant way in gold or silver. It's probably some their customers, whoever their customers are. And usually these customers are people who are either hedging or selling their production forward. It's
Okay.
been happening. I mean, that's what commodity futures markets are for, so that people can hedge or so they can sell their production forward.
Okay, let's come to China. Lots of people they are talking about this bubble, yeah, or there is a huge bubble in the real estate sector in China. Do you agree with their opinion? Is there or is there not?
Well, in my view, in some urban coastal areas of China, I mean Hong Kong, Shanghai, places like that, yes, I do think that there is a bubble, a property bubble, but not everywhere in China, but certainly in some parts of China, yes.
Okay, what does happen, for example, when it bursts? Does it mean okay hard times for the Chinese stock market, hard times for the production industry again, or how do you see this? Is this a
Well,
real
I mean,
danger?
anybody, if there is a bubble and if it pops, then anybody who's involved is going to lose money and suffer. But the, the Chinese economy is a very broad-based economy. And a lot of other sectors, even if a lot of real estate speculators in Hong Kong or Shanghai go bankrupt, there can be many other parts of the Chinese economy which will continue to do very well.
Right, I think Chinese government said, okay, if the bubble pops, yeah, okay, we bail out the banks, we bail out the big banks, and we bail out those speculators you're talking about, those property speculators. I think that's comparable to the Western world. They all do the same mistakes, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I didn't know that the Chinese government said they would bail out the banks. If they said that, yes, I think it's a mistake. Just it's a mistake for the Western governments to bail out the banks.
Okay, and let's say the inflation in China is okay for now, but do you see a threatening situation in the future that inflation just goes up?
Well, whenever throughout history, whenever you've had inflation, it usually continues to get worse and worse and worse until eventually it's a very serious problem, and then it causes has great consequences as people try to kill the inflation one way or the other. So yes, I see that there's inflation in China. I see there's inflation in many places in the world, and it's continuing to get worse, and will continue to get worse, if you ask me.
Okay, so you're saying, okay, Western world goes down, or a lot of countries in the Western world, such as the United States and European countries, but I think we import all the stuff from China. Yeah, so what about their export sector? Can they hold it up in the future, or what about, or what's going to happen when this, yeah, let me say, uh, attempt of reflation, yeah, or to reflate the system when it runs out? Can China survive or not?
Well, when you have the largest economies in the world in trouble, everybody suffers, including China, obviously.
Exactly. Hmm.
Uh, the American and European economies are gigantic compared to China. And if you have problems in the West or in the developed world, everybody's going to suffer, not just China. We're all going to suffer. China will certainly suffer like everybody else. Very few people will be immune to problems in the major economies of the world.
Okay, but are they able? Do you think they are able just to tell Chinese people to consume more? Yeah.
No,
Uh,
no, of course not. You can't tell people that. Nobody's going to go and consume more just because somebody says it. First of all, and second, certainly not if they're not going to do it. If people around them are in trouble, it's going to make them consume less, not more.
Okay, but last question I have in this context is protectionism. You just read media, mainstream media, yeah, there you read it very often, yeah, and protectionism between United States and China, between European Union and China is growing. What do you think about it? Is it threatening or not?
No, of course it is. We see protectionism rising all around us. It started in the U.S. just as it did in the 30s, but now everybody else has jumped on board, and protectionism is spreading. Just yesterday, or day before, the U.S. government suddenly changed. The U.S. had awarded a big airplane contract to an American company, Northrop, which was in partnership with a European company,
Exactly.
EAS.
Yeah.
So this consortium won the contract fair and square, and suddenly the U.S. government changed the rules so that Boeing, an American company, would win it 100%. I mean, that is outrageous protectionism, and Europe is furious, and they should be. Many countries are starting to get more and more protectionist, including the U.S., including Europe, including Asia. It's not good for the world.
Exactly. Doesn't it mean that the world economy goes down again?
Well, whenever you've had inflation, you've had protectionism throughout history, it has caused problems for everybody. Nobody has ever won a trade war. Trade wars have never been good for anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Jim, I thank you very much.
Certainly, anytime, just write to me if you want to do it again sometime.
That was
Okay?
great. I mean, thanks a lot. And I think Jens is going to call you again then.
Okay, thank you very, very much.
I
Goodbye.
thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.